Hello and welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. All right, we have the Magnificent Seven. We have three particular ones that right now might be a great buy. But which one is the best buy? I am going to take you through Google, Microsoft, and Apple. All of them have a place in your portfolio, but there's one of those that's significantly undervalued. I'm going to take you through the business case for each of these, and you can decide if you add three of these Magnificent Seven stocks into your portfolio at this time. Before we go any further, I want to make sure that you are subscribed. Take a look. I'll wait. Okay, good. Make sure you press the button because the things I share with you every week could make you thousands of dollars, and I don't want you to miss not one video. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and tap signing up for my free emails. I do a lot of free option trading content in my emails. Someone recently commented to me that they were able to quit work and start trading just from the content I send them in emails. So you don't want to miss not one email. Make sure you sign up for that as well. Because these are all wonderful stocks, what I want to do, I'm going to take you through the business case for each, and we're going to look at the health of the company. But then I am going to look at potential plays if you want to sell puts, or if you already have the stock, what strike price you may be interested in selling calls. So this will be an informative video. We're going to look at these three key stocks. They are pillars in my own portfolio, and I thought it would be helpful as we're going through this exercise so that you can see how to not only evaluate these companies, but how to make money off of them. Let's talk about what happened this summer that caused a pullback on these three Magnificent Seven stocks. Actually, these three stocks were largely responsible for most of the gains that we saw this summer. Of course, we can't forget NVIDIA. NVIDIA was the kingpin. But these are the pillars in most individuals' portfolios. And so we have to consider that. They're also such a big player in the S&P 500. But when the market got top-heavy, everyone decided, where can I take my money and pivot to another sector to make more money? So these were the victims of that cash pivoting over to small caps was one of the biggest sectors that they were most interested in. But having these drop in price actually presents such a great opportunity for investors that want to get into these stocks, but they weren't willing to pay the trumped up prices that they were seeing. And actually, this is how the market works, and it's very efficient. There's an ebb and flow to it. Just as you think something's out of reach, then there's a news story or a macroeconomic event. Something causes the stock to pull back. And that actually is very beneficial to someone like me that trades the wheel strategy. I rely on a stock to have that zigzag pattern of going down and then going back up and down and up. It allows me to take advantage of selling puts when it's down and selling calls when it's up. Let's look specifically at Google first. The current situation with Google is they are going through some legal challenges, and we have to see how those are going to play out. I must say that when these challenges come along, usually they are resolved in short order. And so when they suppress a stock like Google, it's usually a wonderful opportunity to swoop in and pick up a great company at a decent price. Google has seen a price drop of over 15% from its high point this year. Despite this, many experts and analysts are very optimistic about Google's future. And when you look at the growth, Google has shown impressive earnings growth of 21% per year over the last 5 years. That is nothing to ignore if you were looking for a quality company to invest in. Let's take a look at Microsoft. For years, Microsoft has enjoyed being the number one company in the S&P 500. However, when we are looking at the price of their stock versus what it will return, it is expensive if you are comparing it to Google. However, Microsoft, even with it being higher in valuation, is rated as a strong buy, and it has a target price suggesting almost a 20% increase from its current levels. Let's talk a little bit about Apple. Now, Warren Buffett did shave 50% of his position of Apple, and that led a lot of investors to kind of look at Apple with a side eye. wondering if Warren knew something that other investors did not know. But that did not last long. Then Apple started sharing their plans for the iPhone 16 that has the AI component to it. Now, I personally cannot wait to get my hands on the new iPhone. I'm enjoying all the benefits of AI, and I definitely don't want to be left behind with a phone that can't offer me all that AI can do. Now, the wonderful thing about Apple is the cash that Apple has. It is a very strong company, and when you are evaluating a company, you want to make sure that there's a lot of cash on the balance sheet and that they are consistently profitable, and Apple fits the bill. Now, Apple is considered a moderate buy. It is, too, more expensive than Google. The price target for a year from now suggests about a 10% increase from its current levels. Putting all three of these together, it appears that the best opportunity right now, if you have $1,000 to invest and you want to see a high return on that money in a safe company, it looks like the winner is none other than Google, which is great because you are watching this video on a Google product, YouTube. Now let's go into the charts for each of these, and I am going to give you a potential price point for next week if you want to sell puts and if you want to sell calls. First, we're going to take a look at our winner, Google. I like to go to Yahoo Finance and take a look at the 52-week range. It looks like the low was around 121 and it got as high as 193. So today, sitting at about 165, I can see why this has offered us such a wonderful opportunity for investing. If I want to sell puts on this stock, I want to go look at the Bollinger Band. Specifically, I want to sell weekly puts because my intent is to get assigned these shares, and I want to try to get there sooner rather than later before the stock continues to rise. Now, I will go ahead and start to establish a larger position since Google is suppressed right now, and I will sell puts to try to get my hands on a full 100 shares. When you are selling weekly puts, you want to evaluate a stock on its 1-month chart. If you were going to sell monthly puts, then you would graduate to the 3-month chart. Basically, the more time on the chart, the safer your trade is. However, you can be too conservative and leave a lot of money on the table with premiums. Or if you're trying to get assigned and you go too far out, you're just not going to have the right data to make the best decision. Looking at Google, if I am going to sell puts, I'm really zeroing in on this $155 mark for two reasons. One, it is the bottom of the Bollinger Band, but even more so, it's the 200-day moving average. And the 200-day moving average always serves as strong support for a quality stock. Now, if a stock breaks below the 200-day moving average, I consider that a falling knife until it has settled down and traded sideways probably for 4 to 6 weeks. If it gets down to 155, I'd be more than happy to own it at that price because there's such a long runway up, and that would be a lot of stock appreciation that I can enjoy over the next year. Now, for those of you that have the shares and you're interested in selling cash-secured puts, now is not the best time because it's in the bottom of the Bollinger Band. But if you just want to generate some extra income and you have your shares from a much earlier price than we are now, then it would be appropriate. I would focus on our 50-day moving average as a potential line of resistance. Currently, that's sitting at 177. So if you are going to sell calls and you received your shares lower than they are now, then you could sell the $177 call. You may not get tons of premium, but it would generate some premium, and if it keeps going up, you could simply roll. For those of you interested in Microsoft, let's take a look at its 52-week range. It has been from 309 all the way up to 468. So as you can see, sitting at 418 is a really good price if you want to start to dollar cost average into this stock. If you're blessed enough to have the kind of cash to sell puts, let's go look at potential price points to sell puts on Microsoft. Again, looking at the 1 month Bollinger Band, it's sitting right in the middle. And I've noticed the RSI is very close to 50, but not quite there yet. It's just important to note that when the RSI is 50 or above, the stock is considered to be in a bullish mode, pressing forward. When it is below 50, it's considered to be in a bearish mode. So that's important to note, because if this RSI gets down to around 30, then the stock is considered oversold and it might start heading up soon. On the other end of the equation, if it gets to 70, a lot of times that is considered overbought and you'll see it retreat. So now we are about in the middle, which is a great place, because if you have this stock, you could sell covered calls at the top of the band. It's sitting at about 418. You could go a little bit further out than a week. You probably would have to get any kind of premium, but you could shoot for something around 440 might be a good spot. The top of the band is 442, but 440 is above this 50-day moving average. If you want it to be a little bit more aggressive and you're okay giving up your shares, you might shoot for the 435. For those of you that are interested in selling puts, you might want to go right below this 200-day moving average. Again, this 200-day moving average is a strong line of support. It's sitting at 406, so 405 might be a really good spot for you to consider selling puts that expire in a week. Now, let's go take a look at Apple. Apple has had quite the range. It has gone from 164 in the last 52 weeks all the way up to 237. Currently, we're sitting at around the 226 mark. Now, Apple has enjoyed a little bit more positive momentum compared to the others, but as we discussed, there's not as much money left in these particular trades. Because Apple is in the green, it's above 50 on the RSI. It's at 61. This would be a really good time to sell calls because it is right here at the top of its Bollinger Band. This gives you a lot of opportunity. If you hold 100 Apple shares, you could start selling covered calls. The price that I would focus on would be right here, probably at the $230 level, knowing 228 is the top of our band. For those of you selling puts, you might want to focus right here on the 20-day moving average. It's right there about 218. So you could sell a put at 218 or even 220 if you were really wanting assignment. Being a little bit closer to the money like that would actually give you some really good premium. But I must caution you, it's best to sell puts on red days. You will get a lot more premium if you sell a put on a red day. And the reason for that is investors are nervous when a stock is trending down. And as a result, they will pay you more for the insurance you provide by selling them a put. Now, I hope this was helpful and you are ready to tackle the markets this week. If you are looking to sell puts or calls on some quality stocks, you have some areas now that you can shoot for. Happy trading.